You're listening to the Free to Be Mindful podcast, which provides bite-sized tips for busy parents, educators, and anyone working with kids. These real talk conversations focus on mindful living, mental health, and personal growth, helping all to learn, grow, and inspire with mindfulness in mind. I'm your host, Vanessa de Jesus Guzman, educator, licensed professional counselor, entrepreneur, and mom. I'm passionate about helping folks live life with peace of mind and ease of heart while not losing their, well, you know, here we go. Hi, and welcome back to the Consult a Counselor series. In this series, I answer parenting-related questions so that you can be present and at ease with your child and live life mindfully. Today's question is, how on earth do I talk to my kids about all of these tragedies happening? My heart goes out to you because I know I myself have had to have these incredibly hard conversations with your kids. So I don't know the age of your child, but I will let you know what some developmentally appropriate things are to keep in mind. But first, whenever we are talking about any type of tragedy, we want to do a couple of things. And the first is to ask questions. Now, obviously, if you have a toddler, this won't be too applicable for you. But for older kids, we want to start off by asking questions to see what it is that they know and what it is that they have heard. And we want to do this because we want to know what it is that they're feeling about what they've heard, which may or may not be factual information. We want to also see how they're feeling. Sometimes we're really quick to jump and assume that they may be scared or nervous, anxious, or upset about one aspect of something when it can be totally different. So at first, we do just want to listen. Once we are done listening and we've asked questions about what it is that they know, we then want to validate their feelings. Feeling scared, sad, angry are natural emotions. So when a child says, I feel scared, we don't want to say, no, don't worry about it. You have nothing to worry about. We do want to say, I can see why you would be scared, and it's okay to feel a little bit nervous. We want to validate their feelings, and then we want to help them see things with a little bit more perspective, and we want to help them express their feelings in an appropriate way. Of course, they're going to have questions, and we do want to be honest, but we want to make sure that we don't overshare. So it's okay for our kids to know that we're saddened or we're upset about whatever it is that's happening. And it's also important for them to know that we may not have all the answers and that that's okay. Remember, though, that they're still kids, and especially if they're on the younger end, they don't need to know all of the details about everything that's happening. They do need to be reassured of their safety, especially if they are on the younger end, about 6 to 12 years old or so. We want to definitely reinforce that they are safe. We want to make sure that we discuss why it's important to know school procedures, to listen to their teachers, to trust that their teachers are going to take care of them. We want to reassure that they are safe so that they don't get scared about this big lump of time of the day when they're typically in school and not with you. And of course, we want to limit news intake. And maybe this is just as good for yourself as it is definitely good for your kids. They don't need to hear all of the gruesome details. We also want to be mindful of how much information we may be taking in via social media because their little ears hear all of that as well. And what they may overhear as we speak to a loved one, perhaps in person or even on the phone. They are hearing bits and pieces of information everywhere, and then they put it together how it makes sense in their minds, which may not always make sense. So now to discuss what is exactly developmentally appropriate conversation. So if you have littles up until the age of 5 or so, they may not take in all of this information. They may, however, see when you are feeling sad or nervous or scared. So it's okay to share with them that you're feeling a little bit sad and to let them know that sad is an okay feeling to feel and what you're doing to kind of help your sadness. If your child is in first, second, or even third grade, we definitely want to find out what it is that they know from school. And then we want to keep the story simple. And we want to just share and reassure that they are safe. They may ask, well, will this ever happen here? Or what do I do if this happens to me? And if this is the case, you again reinforce school procedures. You can ask them to tell you of the different drills that they practice in school, and you can identify people that they can seek out if they don't feel okay in school or if they feel nervous or scared. Who can they speak with? When talking to kids a little bit older, about fourth, fifth, and sixth grade, they may come back to this topic over and over again as they think of new ideas. We want to, again, make sure that we're listening. We want to reassure their safety, and we want to make sure that we keep up with their normal routines as much as possible so that they feel safe as well. If kids ever get nervous about going to school, ask and make sure that you listen to what the reason is that they're scared about going to school. And again, identify somebody at school that can help them out. With preteens and teens, they start forming their own opinions about what it is that they hear, and have honest conversations with them. Again, listening more than we speak, and just see the beautiful individual that they're turning into with their own minds and thoughts and opinions about these big topics. So I hope this helps. If you think this can help another mom or dad friend, be sure to share it with them and subscribe to my podcast so that you don't miss the next one. If you have any questions for the Consult a Counselor series, you can always email me at podcast@freetobemindful.com or DM me on Instagram at Counselor V De Jesus. And remember, in a world where you are free to be anything that you want to be, you are always free to be mindful. Thanks so much, and catch you next time.